Hello, everyone. Welcome to Telling Tales. We are sweltering at you live from the end of the world, and we're going to bring you some lovely Blades in the Dark tonight, our ongoing campaign of the popular indie role-playing game from John Harper and Evil Hat Games. Hi, how are you? I'm Matt. I'm the Game Master. I'll do my usual promo nonsense, but before I do that, let's bring on Steve, our esteemed stream manager and friend. Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Matt. Yeah,
good. You no need to lie. You can.
I'm sorry, it's a force of habit.
Complain about the heat. How's my fan sounding, Steve?
That's fine. No,
it's fine. It's good. It is
no noise.
Furiously at work next to me, but there we go. Steve will pop up again if needs be, but in the meantime he'll be tinkering away behind the scenes, doing cams and pictures and chat and all that fun and good stuff. Thank you, Steve. So that promo I promised you that you were so looking forward to from me mentioning it 60 seconds ago, there's a bunch of links down below. There are links to YouTube and Twitch. You're watching on one, why not check out the other? There's links to social media, to Discord, where you can come and join us and talk about all things telling tales and role-playing. We've got quite a lot of activity on there nowadays, so why not come join us? We have a Patreon where you can pay us money in return for lovely treats. There's all sorts of stuff we posted recently, like character creation videos and GM notes, and there's even more stuff like that to come. So why not check it out? We run 3 series weekly, usually, although the schedule's been a bit all over the place recently. We typically run Call of Cthulhu on Mondays, Blades in the Dark on Tuesdays, and Coriolis on Wednesdays. And that has already actually happened this week, pretty much, because we are intending to play Coriolis tomorrow. Blades in the Dark is taking a bit of a holiday next week because I have to go do things. But it should be back the week after, I think. I can't think of any reason why not. Yes. We also do one-shots on the first Saturday of every month. There's a bunch of VODs of those over on YouTube if you want to check them out. Things like Alien and Troika and The Expanse and Fiasco, and most recently Honey Heist, which is very funny, and it is all in VOD form over on YouTube now. You should check it out. We also run a fortnightly show over on the Free League Publishing Twitch, which is a Simbroom series, and that happens every other Sunday. It just went down this last Sunday, so the next one will be on the 1st of August. Oh, that's promo. That's all the promo done, I think. Or all the promo I can be bothered to do anyway. So let's start introing the players of our team of scoundrels, smuggling scoundrels, the keepers. Let's bring on our first player, Pierre, who's going to talk about our session last week, and specifically, we started the session last week with kind of the tail end of a score. And Pierre, why don't you say what was going on and then what happened?
So I had basically, everything was going flawlessly in our plan to scam the bill hooks out of a little bit of cash that they were trying to bribe a magistrate with, when I was clapped on the shoulder by Decker. And I immediately swigged a potion of silence and did my best to shove Decker out of the way because he was about to blow our cover. I succeeded in drinking the potion and failed in shoving Decker. What I seemed to do was aggravate him, and he cracked me across the face. But at the same time, Silver was doing a remarkable job of just directing everyone's attention away from that massive catastrophe, and instead she just walked off with all of their cash. So the actual score kind of went well for everyone apart from me.
Yeah, absolutely. Which has become a bit of a running theme, it has to say.
Yeah.
It has to say. Oh my god.
In the end, Decker did still seem to be on, like, there was like a flash of anger in his eyes, but he at least overtly seems still willing to do deals with us. So
yeah, there was something going on behind those pale blue peepers of his, but he was not. Yeah, it's fine. It'll be fine, right?
We'll see.
It'll be fine. So yeah, that score ended up pretty well. In fact, the score as a whole, the week before and last week, had your first 2 critical rolls, I think. So and went down pretty smoothly, pretty quickly. All good. Let's bring on our next player, Justin, who plays 3 sheets, our resident hound, tracker and hunter and shooter of things, and taker of vast quantities of recreational drugs.
It's true.
It's true. And also, you're playing 3 sheets.
I am.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you lead us through what happened during the downtime?
Yeah, the downtime, it was quite exciting. Most of us just tried to recover stress. And some of us, I think I overindulged and had a bit of a binge. But otherwise, apart from dealing with stress, I think, we had some training. We did some montages where Brick punched people a lot. And we also did a bit of investigation to Downwar, finding out that, I kind of, went around asking various potato peeling staff at the brothel who he was, and also Bricks went to the pub and shouted out, who knows anything about Downwar? We did the subtle investigation things.
Absolutely. Very, very undercover, sort of thing. I believe also you did have an entanglement in it, as you do in all of them, but it worked out pretty decently.
Yeah, so my spy friend was kind of had a little mix up with the law, Valeris, but he kind of came out of it absolutely fine, so it wasn't such a big deal.
Yeah, he managed to not only not spill anything about the keepers, but also not get himself thoroughly beaten up. So that was fine. And then it was time to start thinking about the next score. So let's bring on our final player for the night, because Sam is unfortunately not going to join us tonight. Let's bring on John, who plays Bricks, the resident cutter. Why don't you lead us through the build-up to the score, please, John?
Well, we had a bit of a discussion as to where we were going to go, and we eventually decided to go talk to Dalmor, because he had 2 scores outstanding, one of which was offered to us and was smugly, and one of which was not offered to us and was apparently very high paying, and we wanted to know more. Unfortunately, after a little bit of back and forth, he wasn't quite convinced to give us the job just yet. He wanted us to do the job that he'd set out for us, and then maybe use it as a bit of an assessment. And the job was fairly simple. It was to sneak into the Skovlander embassy and deposit a number of very small packages somewhere in the inner sanctums. Preferably without causing a bloodbath, but meh.
Yeah,
what are you going to do, eh?
That's pretty much it. And I think there was some preparatory stuff where 3 sheets checked out kind of the building itself. And Echo, was it Echo checking in kind of subtle ways into it?
Yeah, so I was on the roof and I found an extremely dangerous but very, very good route in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think 3 sheets kind of checked it out, but maybe one of the guards got a bit too close a look at him at one point than is perhaps ideal. But I think that pretty much sums up the session. One thing I would say is that, and for all I know, it is exactly the same thing, but I was doing notes for this today, and I nearly typed Skovlan Embassy, but it's the Skovlan Consulate, which I think is a slightly different thing. But
because it can't be the embassy, because they're part of the Empire.
Correct. And I think that's how that works. Like, maybe. You know what? Let's find out now. Let's find out live on stream the difference between consulate and embassy.
This is really the future.
Echo does not know the difference.
Are you going to get your copies of the Encyclopedia Britannica out, Matt?
If by that you mean I'm looking on Wikipedia, yes. The consulate is a diplomatic mission, the office of a consul, and is usually subordinate to the state's main representation in the capital of that foreign country, usually an embassy. So it's like a mini embassy, because of course Doskwal is not the capital of the empire, so it would not have embassies. It has consulates. So there we go. There we go. We've all learned something today. You can repay us by signing up to our Patreon, folks. So there we go. So we
should learn one fact every week.
Absolutely, one fact every week, and we will give it to you here on Telling Tales. That's our guarantee. Asterisk. So let's pick up roughly where we left off. So I think it's time to start talking about what type of score we're going to engage in here. So obviously you know that you have to place these runestones as kind of deep and intimately into the consulate as possible. How are we going to achieve this? Just looking at the... and also not get caught. Just looking at the different types of mission here. Assault doesn't seem to tick the box. Deception certainly could. Stealth could. I think occult is off the table since there aren't any whispers in the group. I think that's more or less always going to be off the table unless it's like a very specific thing you're doing. Social, possibly. Transport, you could go for that smuggling transport thing, but it's a bit kind of like, yeah, I mean, I think you could. It's just you might be limited in how much you can get in there. So what do we think out of those different approaches?
My initial gut is stealth, just because it feels like we are trying to sneak in and have no one know. And yeah, I don't know if we could. I mean, obviously, like social, either that or deception, I suppose, because I don't think we have any contacts within the Scotland consulate. But potentially one way of doing this is to make, to be delivery drivers or something who are taking something in, and that's our way in.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, I think these things don't. It's not like the entire mission, right? But it's like how you're approaching. And I think that's the important part. It'd be great for you to do a social approach without Silver.
Yeah, I think given the fact that we can't find Silver anywhere, like, has anyone seen her? She's off.
Probably had to return something, and then the return policy at the place really long.
I'm sure she's fine. But yeah,
I like stealth personally. I'm a big fan of stealth.
Yeah.
The concept. The
concept.
Yeah, not even getting seen.
I only like their first album. So, are we down for stealth then? Does that seem like Pierre and Justin both seem fairly up for that? Obviously, Brix is a big fan of stealth.
Brix has 0 stealth ability, and he's also not going to climb up on the roof and through a window. But he's happy to do some kind of distraction, or
I can try and unlock some door to let you in as a way.
We have already established that Brix is good at going into official places and pretending to complain about things.
Yeah.
in the last score that went down, right? This could be your second tier skill.
He's got a specialization in Karen.
Yeah, I was going to say Cutter and Karen.
There's no harm in just doing your stealth, rolling your 2 die, and taking the worst result. What's the worst that can happen?
What's the worst that can happen? Nothing.
There's no such thing as a bad clock. So
no, definitely not. And your GM isn't grumpy and slightly ill and too hot.
Kill any of you.
I would say slightest provocation. No provocation needed. No, I gleefully.
I think we go on stealth and we can just leave Brix behind.
Sure. Yeah. So
point of entry then.
So yeah, point of infiltration is what we want to plan out. Then I'll let you guys talk about that I'm not going anywhere, but I'll let you guys talk about that unhindered for just a couple of minutes, and then I'll jump back in and I'll ask you to tell me where you're getting in and what's happening.
Brix going in through the back wall. Just walking straight through.
Sledgehammer.
You're very effective with that sledgehammer. I think I mean, that place I scoped out, I think I could do. You know,
You could do it. You've had the potential to do it.
I have the potential to do it. If it goes
Riggs
wrong,
has the potential to do it.
Did you say it was over the canal? That's why it was dangerous.
It is indeed. I think I may get details wrong here, but if I do, this is a retcon. I think I said the place was about 5 stories high, and it was a window at the back overhanging a canal. Yes.
What we'll do is we'll have the boat underneath, and we'll stretch a bedsheet out.
I mean, I was thinking something along those lines, but 5 stories, it might be better just to let it drop in the water.
It's true, less message clean up.
I'm right here, guys. I'm right here. Look, if you guys have any other better ideas for how to get into this place unseen,
look.
But I think if I get in via the window, and then when we were scouting the place, were there any doors that were obvious in terms of good way? Like, there's one place that's guarded continuously, right?
Mm-hmm. I think I said that literally the only door into the building is the main front door.
What about,
which is guarded and has a massive queue of Scotlanders outside it?
What about if I do the bit at the top, I get into that window, I tie a rope ladder onto something in there, and then lower it down, and then you guys drive up in your boat, sail up in the boat, and then climb up the ladder as a sort of safer way in.
I just realised I'm mocking him. It was like, yeah, drive a boat. You do. That is how you control a boat.
That's
how you control.
You can have a tiller. Have a tiller.
You can. You can. Yeah.
How is our boat? How do we feel like our boat would be? I think it's probably a tiller.
It's like a canal barge style thing, right? I think.
You said it was punted, right? Do they really have much?
I think you
steer?
can punt it along, but I don't think it has like a mechanical aspect to it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Would you be happy to climb 5 stories up a rope?
Yeah. Why not?
Well, I can.
Yes. We will be happy to do that. Does that sound feasible, or does it look like doing that? Would we be like pressing ourselves against the windows of offices, kind of like climbing past?
I think that would absolutely be a possibility, but I think that is for the engagement role to determine exactly how. It's definitely feasible, but we'll see with the engagement role how risky a proposition it immediately turns out to be.
There's too many of those old Batman shows where they go, climb up the side of the building.
I'm really looking forward to us getting a mixed result on the engagement and just getting the occurrence where our celebrity guest opens the window and has a brief chat with us.
And
then, what are you doing here?
Yeah,
celebrity guest.
And
celebrity guest who no one knows who they are 40 years later.
Yeah, exactly. I've got news for you, John. Barely anyone watching this knows even what we're talking about. So there we go.
Never doubt.
All right. It sounds to me like you have a plan.
Yep.
Unless you want any adjustment of it. In which case we can start to think about the engagement role. You get 1 die for free. I would say that you've scoped out the location, on the roof, fairly thoroughly, and I think that earns you another one. I don't know why. Look, another one. There you go. I would say though, one thing I didn't think through last week is we talked about the windows and that it was a desperate situation because it's a difficult thing to get over into it. And I think that the thing is we can't just go, then that's desperate, because this is the point of infiltration. So instead, what I'll do for that kind of desperate situation is I'll just remove one of the dice. I think for that. I can't think of any other factors. Can you guys?
I would suggest that we do it at the misty hour, either evening or morning.
Ooh.
Okay. Yep.
Morning or evening? You tell me. I'm interested.
Morning, there'll be less of a queue. Evening, there might be less people at the building. Gone home.
Feels like evening to me.
I think
Mhm.
evening.
Okay,
People will be
evening.
sleepy by then.
Okay, that's a nice extra little detail that I'm happy to add another die for. Anything else?
It's daring.
It is daring. I'm not sure you get a die for that,
No.
though, do you?
No.
No.
You might get
Um,
some XP later for it.
if we're still alive. Yeah. I can't really think of anything.
I mean, I think
else.
that's pretty much it. I don't want to dwell on it too much, so especially not if it gives you an advantage. So that's a lie, of course. Yeah. So I will make this roll, and let's see what position we're in when we start, folks. What a rousing pair of numbers we have achieved here. What an amazing pair
you
of
had my
numbers.
hopes up there. I was like 2 6s for the first time.
So we've started in a desperate situation anyway. So I think
What are the
we will
chances of
start-
that?
What are the chances of that? So I think we will start. We have bricks and 3 sheets down on the canal, on the keeper's trusty barge, waiting in the evening mist for a rope ladder to come swirling out of the darkness towards them, and also there is another member of the keepers, Echo, on the roof, desperately trying to kind of like hang over the edge and attach a rope ladder. I assume you're doing that before you try and kind of get through the window, like you're maybe hooking it over the gutters or something like that, or
yeah, I mean, if I can, yeah, like I guess that'll be
fine. I think dangling yourself off the roof to attach things is dangerous enough without also.
Well, my initial thought was to get in myself, however, is the best, and then use the window to.
All right, so you're to secure the rope ladder. Okay, so you're trying to get into the window first. That's absolutely fine. So please, folks, if you can select the load you've got with you, I think that would be good. Echo. Bear in mind, I think unless there is something hidden in the lurks equipment that's a good equivalent, I think a rope ladder that's 5 stories long is going to take you 2 load.
Okay.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, there's light climbing gear, but I imagine that's for one person, really.
And that's for one person to get up, right? You're already up there. You're lowering down this.
A decent climbing ladder, sure. In which case, I will probably, my load is going to be normal. I'm going to forego a little bit of stealth for.
Yeah, I think that's
for my.
That is reasonable. All right then, folks. Technically, we should have done the load before engagement, but yeah, it's fine.
Sure.
Cool. All right. What load have John and Justin picked?
Light.
Normal as well. Oh, that makes sense.
Get light load over there.
Climbing myself up a ladder, and then
Sure.
potentially need to persuade people that I'm not illegally in this consulate.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to go for light.
I am going to be cruel and say that the Runestones are 1 load. So who's got them?
I think that's fair.
And I think also if you split up and each have Runestones, they will also be 1 load. To anyone having Runestones, it takes up 1 of your load. So
I'll
who
take
has them? Okay. So there you are on the top. Echo, you are. Nope. Go ahead, Justin. Go ahead.
So if I have to carry that, I think I might go for a medium load then.
Go for it. Go for it. So, Echo, there you are on the roof. You are, it's a fairly, it's a kind of slanted roof, but not harshly so. Like you can kind of find your balance on the rough ceramic tiles there, and kind of peer over the edge down at the window you're trying to get into. It is kind of an old kind of like shuttered together window. Like it's a double window and like an fully opening window, but it is of course closed and seems to be latched as well. So you have to try and get in there. It's going to be a desperate roll because that's what our entanglement determined. What action are you going to try and use to get in there?
I think this is really important. So I'm going to. I think I'm going to use Prowl to try and get in, and sort of carefully like shimmy down the side of the thing, like maybe hitching a couple of my bits of my climbing gear onto the. I think I have to have climbing gear in order to do this properly. Which is another one of my load, into the side of the building, and like taking purchase where I can, and then just sort of, as I approach the window, trying to like, sort of, like unlatch it as quietly as I can, and
So do you have like, are you using kind of like not lock picking, but kind of like jimmying tools to try and do that?
Yeah. I mean, I do have these. Well, I suppose I have fine lock picks, but
that's let's say it's the equivalent. It's fine. So that's another. Is that
I'm
another
at 4 load? Yeah, I'm at 4 load. It's good.
How much is normal? Is it 5?
5 is normal. So
okay.
I have
there
the
we go.
ability to have one more thing.
Yeah. Okay.
One more
Are you carrying runestones?
No.
No.
Okay.
I think Bricks has them all at the moment.
For now.
So, Echo, let's have that prowl roll then as you kind of try and scale down the side from the gutter and Jimmy open that window on the way down. Let's have that prowl roll. I don't have a devil's bargain to offer you, but if anyone else does, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, I don't think anyone can really assist you, but if you wanted to push yourself or any other thing, go ahead.
Could we assist by holding the ladder steady?
No, because the ladder isn't held, that isn't down yet, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm getting into the window first, and then I'm going
latching the ladder off from the window.
Yeah, the aim is to get a bit more stealth, but we'll see. I don't. Okay, I'm on 6 stress out of 9, so pushing myself feels like a tad bit risky. But then again, okay, I'm gonna use my Daredevil special ability, which is when I roll a desperate action, I can get 1d6 to my roll if I also take minus 1d6 to any resistance rolls against consequences for my action.
Fair enough. Cool. I think that's absolutely fair enough. So cool. Then go ahead and take that prowl roll. So how many dice have you got now in this?
So I'm rolling 4 dice.
Not bad.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
You could get a 1, 2, 3, and a 4.
I got 6, 6, 2, 3. So critical success.
Critical again. What is it with you people and your criticals?
Dice, am I right?
Astonishing. So you do that with increased effect. I'm going to say, Echo, you clamber down from that gutter. You get yourself in a nice, perfectly fixed position, sort of hanging on what the crampons, is that what they're called when they kind of like are pushed into the gaps between the bricks or the kind of sandstone chunks, and you reach over and on your first try with like a little kind of jimmying, like maybe a little metal rod or something like that, you click it up and they just open in front of you. You shimmy your way inside and you find that you seem to be in an office of some kind, but it is completely empty. And the gas lamps are kind of out, but there's light from the corridor beyond. There's like a door with a glass pane in it that's shining light in. And also you find that there is a very well situated kind of rim on the window that perfectly fits the kind of bracing of the rope ladder, and you can just
okay, and then I think I'm going to wait until I see it going taut, to make sure that they've got it and that we've judged the length correctly and stuff.
Yep, it's all perfect. Doesn't quite hit the water.
Perfect.
Your rope ladder's dry. Even that is achieved. And I'm going to say, because it's a critical, I'm not even going to bother asking them for a roll to get up there.
Wow.
I think it's been situated perfectly.
Cool.
So
Everything's going off without a hitch, just like all of our plans.
Every single one of them.
I take a quick breath, and then I sort of look around to see if I can figure out what kind of room this is.
Sure. And while you're doing that, 3 sheets and bricks, I assuming you're, anchoring your barge and making your way up that rope ladder.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am going first because if I fall, 3 sheets might cushion me. I'm not saying that out loud.
What? See,
but I am going fast.
That really sounded like you were going to say, if I fall, I might be able to take out 3 sheets.
I was like, what makes you think that 3 sheets would be below bricks? Brick.
It's a rule of these things, isn't it? Heaviest person up first. Just
yeah.
Yeah.
biggest, most muscular person above the other people. Yeah.
Yep.
With
Yep.
great stability to catch.
Yes, absolutely. They call it top heavy for a reason. You know? Top heavy. And heavy's good. It holds in place. Yeah.
It's done bricks well so far.
Absolutely. You make your way up the rope ladder just fine, and can kind of peek over the edge and see Echo kind of poking around that room. So Echo, what did you say you wanted to be doing while they were on their way up?
I wanted to figure out what this room is like, and maybe if I can spot any really choice hiding locations for things I don't yet have, the little pouches.
Sure. Well, now, how are you going to do that? What action roll are you going to use?
I think I'm going to study. I'm going to analyze the room and figure out if I can, see anything.
Yeah,
that's good.
Absolutely. Go for it. I'd say this is a controlled situation.
Okay,
So... don't forget to take your XP for Prowl, by the way. For your desperate roll.
Yep. Okay, I am going to roll 1 dice for this, and I'm assuming no devil's bargains or anything like that.
Nope.
Cool.
To offer you here.
I rolled a 4.
A 4. Well, in that case, I'll give you a minor consequence for this. Yeah, sure. You know what? That's fine. Your consequence for this will be a tick on a clock.
Yeah, I think.
Are you comfortable with that, or want to roll resistance or anything?
No such thing as a bad clock.
Yeah, I think I have to leave it because
Sure.
failing to resist is really bad, right? It's stress.
I think that's fine. Cool. You kind of poke around. The floorboards are creaking a little more than you would like in general, but you're managing to poke around quite safely. As I said, it's an office. It looks to be an office, it's not kind of one person's office. You think maybe 2 or 3 people work here, but there seem to be people. There's quite a lot of kind of papers stacked up on desks. And there's kind of a little carved sign by the door, kind of like "keep out unless requested" or things like that. Which these people clearly have some sway if they can just tell people to stay out. So it's maybe a fairly high-ranking office. You also find quite easily a little sort of. A mouse hole in a skirting board where one of the runestones could be quite easily secreted.
Okay.
I've got a. Sorry, no, you go. I think I've got a thing.
I was just saying, as I sort of help Bricks out of the window, I sort of point out the little place I've spotted, and care like, oh yeah.
I've got a plan for that.
Okay. So, what's your plan?
Well, I think this is the time to you're muted, Matt. I think this is the time to introduce to you a new character that I haven't yet discussed with you that I need to name, which is my finely trained hunting pet. And I've decided that this hunting pet should be a ferret. And I decided this last session.
Nice.
And so, if you flashback, if you like, I've been training Marcus, my ferret. That's the name of my ferret. Writing it down now. Marcus, my ferret, to hide things and my plan is to send it in and out of the skirting boards of this place with as many runestones as we can fit.
Runestones as Steve. I think that's a really good plan. I am definitely going to charge you some flashback juice for that.
Yeah,
Which I think is fair. I'm going to charge you 2 stress for that in flashback because that's
really
precisely solving the what we're doing here. So I think that's fair. So take 2 stress. Yeah, a cut to a montage of you and Marcus in the lighthouse. An endearing sight.
A couple of failings.
I think people maybe think like a small dog or maybe a bird, but I was like, nah. Like the only thing that makes sense in this saying is something weird like a ferret or a weasel or a stoat or something. That's what it has to be.
I just have 3 sheets, and if we could bring up Steve, if you could bring up the image of 3 sheets again for a second, please. I just have this image of 3 sheets. I think as described by Justin, quite an ugly, kind of cruel-faced man with that sou'wester and a nasty demeanor, with this ferret teaching Marcus the ferret to go secreting things around places. And in my head, over the top of this montage is just getting to know you. Getting to know everything about you. Just kind of, I think that's. That's a 2 stress scenario right there.
Maybe Bricks reaches into a deep boot, pulling out a runestone at one point.
Yeah. Kind of gives the ferret a little chunk of meat to go hide. Turns away a second and looks back, and the ferret's just like. Oh, Marcus.
Well, I also think, although I'm happy to roll some kind of, obviously, so 2 stress for the flashback, and obviously I'll need to make some kind of
for the ability to do this at all. I think, and then I would like a roll for I don't know what role this is, but like a roll for how well you can Marcus can engage in this with this particular mouse hole.
Do you think that training an animal is more finesse or hunt or tinker even?
Well, it depends how you've been doing it, isn't it?
I'd say you need to actually look in the more social. If I was going to say which result is going to give you a bigger effect, I'd say command, sway even. I would say they'd lead me more, but it's entirely up to you what you use.
If it's a spectral weasel,
I think I'll use sway, and I will try.
If your teaching methods were particularly harsh, then skirmish.
I mean,
spanking the ferret.
No, I don't think that's likely.
John's not happy with my use of that.
What
I don't think any.
What does that mean?
That's not good. No. No, I wasn't choking the ferret. And I will roll my single die for sway.
Sure.
And does anyone have any devil's bargains or extra things, or I will push myself for 2? But
I
could give you
and not
go on.
And also, not that I'm trying to limit myself, but I also would find it totally reasonable if we could only hide so many of the runestones this way.
Well, that's going to be your result. That's what.
Right, fair enough.
So the devil's bargain I was going to propose was probably a complication that was going to be something like, there is a large cat somewhere in this building.
I've just introduced Marcus and you're trying to kill him.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying the devil.
I think like anything like that would come. Yeah, I think putting ticks on a clock.
Sure.
Would be. Yeah, which may. I'll feature it in. Don't worry, but like it's like the mechanical results you've got to offer. If you, I will put ticks. Here we go. For every runestone that Marcus secretes right now in this fashion, a tick goes on a clock. How about that?
There are no bad clocks, so...
There are no bad clocks.
That sounds like a great bargain to have.
And it will go on there via what related matters to what Pierre was describing.
So Pierre, you're saying your devil's bargain is there's a big cat which could cause harm to
Or
Marcus.
some obstacle
Or
for
something.
Marcus specifically.
I have to go with the clocks because there's no such thing as a bad clock.
Oh no! We weren't like
We were
no.
saying the same thing.
This is the thing. Like I think what Pierre is up. The thing is the devil's bargain thing. It happens no matter what. It's not like if it goes wrong or whatever. So I mean, I guess Pierre could offer it. You could literally say the ferret's dead. Do you want to take that bargain?
Dude,
in which case,
I'm not
just
taking that
probably not. Or the
No.
ferret gets hurt or something like that. Yeah.
There is also an option in the devil's bargain for suffer harm, which leads into something that I was thinking of. He does it, but he bites you.
Would that be a possible devil's bargain?
Well, there you go. You've got 3 devil's bargains being offered to you. Clock ticks, harm to you, and harm. I keep pointing in weird ways.
Yeah.
Harm to you, and harm to Marcus the ferret.
I like being bitten the most. I think that's the most funny one. But I can't say no to a clock. There's no such thing as a bad clock.
Say no to a clock. Well, like I say, for every runestone successfully placed, Mark, you will get a tick on a clock. So that gives you an extra die. Are you also doing anything like pushing yourself or?
No, I think I'm going to leave it at 2 dice.
That's absolutely fine. So go ahead and give me that roll.
Just don't have enough stress.
4 and a 6.
4 and a 6. I am going to say, in that case, and it's not quite following the rules, but screw it. I will take both those results because you're like wanting to place multiple runestones, right? So that means that you get 2 ticks on a clock. Marcus comes back now with only 2 kind of the little baggies with the runestones in his jaws.
His arms.
Yeah, like carrying. Yeah, he's a Disney ferret. Yeah, absolutely. That definitely fits in our universe. Yeah, he comes back with 2 of the baggies kind of like clenched in his little jaws. And it comes back in. And you also need, for that 4, we're going to throw in another complication of some kind as well. And that was a controlled one. So, you know what? You said you liked the bite. So what's going to happen is basically Marcus seems quite reluctant now to let go of the 2 remaining baggies of runestones, and in the tussle that ensues between you and Marcus, he nips your hand, and it's kind of got a little. You've now got a ferret bite on your hand, which is lesser harm, which is the bottom tier, right?
I'll take it.
Yeah, you're taking it. Okay. Yeah, there we go.
Let's hope it doesn't get infected.
Absolutely. Well, Doskvald's a very safe place for things like infections, so I'm sure it'll be fine. So there we go. The room is kind of empty, but 2 of the runestones have been secreted somewhere deep within the walls here. What are we doing now?
I can't really afford to take these things. I think I'll try and scout out more locations to put these things in. And also, I don't know, ideally, see if there's anything valuable.
Are we moving through the building, or are we just currently in this one room still?
You're currently just in this one room. There is a corridor outside that has like gas lamps on. Oil lamps, gas lamps.
Any ideas from Bricks?
I'm going to listen at the door. Wait, no, Echo was going scouting.
You back me up?
Dude, I could. If Echo is going, I think I'm following along a distance behind Echo. Of trying for far enough away that I won't interfere with her prowl, but close enough that if she does encounter someone, they have to deal with me.
But also because you have all of the
I don't have any runes.
I don't have any runes. I need to like point them out to some, like point out where to put them, or like, yeah.
I mean, you can just take them, but
yeah. But if
have one load left,
I have literally one load left.
Well, you've dropped the rope ladder. I don't know how that.
I don't know how.
no,
works
no,
as
it's
far as
all the
load
equipment
goes. Okay.
you can have on you. No.
Okay. Well, in that case, I need to be pointing out where to put it. So, yeah.
Fair enough. So your first initial peek outside that door, I will be with you in a second. I'm just going to describe what's immediately outside the door, because that might change context of things. Just a little peek outside that door shows that it's really quite an unusual architecture inside this place. The whole building essentially appears to be one single kind of open structure leading up, and with each floor having kind of their kind of offices at the side, but a kind of wooden balcony all the way around each individual, and kind of like the center is just one long plunge down to that for the kind of the ground floor, where you can hear people, that kind of distant, sort of slightly oddly spectral echoes coming up from down all the way below, where Scovlanders are still coming in to air their grievances and sort of speak their petitions to the consul's office. Yeah, and that's what you can see. And everything is lit with kind of like oil lamps on either side, but they're all quite dimmed, or like these upper floors seem to be quite dimmed, because obviously it's out of main business hours.
Okay. I think I'm a little bit off put by the sort of weird ghostly sound, but when I recognize that it's just people down there, I sort of get over it, and after looking out, there are other doors along this route, right?
You can't really, like, you think you'll have to do a circuit to kind of see how many and stuff, but there seem to be kind of a fair few. It's quite a large building, and you'd be surprised if each side of it didn't have maybe 2 or 3 rooms, or at least doors.
Sure. I'll head towards the one that looks the most important, like the fanciest door, or if they're all the same, then just one at random, and see if it's locked. See if I can. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. Justin, was before we do that with Echo, what was Three Sheets thinking about?
So I'm happy to take my own set of runestones and start doing. My plan was to do a hunting roll to look for places that I would think to look for hidden things, and ones that like where are the obvious places to look.
Yeah, and then not
so kind of reverse engineer it.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Well, there are only 2 runestones left now. So if Three Sheets takes one and Brix has the other, and maybe the party can kind of split up a bit. Three Sheets goes off prowling by himself, and Brix and Echo not so much. How's that sound?
The plan is to meet back here, or the plan is to exit through the front door, which is
we're exiting. The plan originally was to exit via the boat. So to go back the way we came.
Meet back here in 15 a certain time. 15 minutes.
I guess I'll also. Should I roll up the ladder and take it with me? I think. Oh yeah, we might need to get out of here in a hurry.
We might need a quick getaway. That's the equivalent of leaving your engine running in Duskwall.
Okay. Yeah. I'll leave it there. And head out to the fanciest looking door.
Yeah, it's so the equivalent of it in Duskwall that in every circumstance where one would say leave your engine running, in Duskwall they say leave your rope ladder unfurled.
It's a classic phrase.
Absolutely. So let's go with let's randomly generate who we go with first. We are going with Brix and Echo first. So yeah, you let's say you turn left and Three Sheets goes right. So you turn left. Are you kind of aiming to stay on this kind of top 5th floor? Like, it looks like there are a set of wooden stairs leading kind of down to the next balcony down that you can kind of see. I would say that Dalmor did say that while it was good to like get them as deep into the embassy as possible in the most important places, also to spread them out a bit.
Okay.
Which obviously you don't know how spread out the first two are because a fucking ferret put them there.
Marcus is the most reliable member of our party. I will not have you besmirch his name. He has spread these far and wide.
This is now troop play.
That ferret's been stealing my socks all week.
It's either troop play or we bring in a special guest star to play Marcus every once in a while.
Marcus is the new Silver.
Yeah.
Okay. I think then I'll head down the stairs. Try and get things a bit further afield.
Sure, I think that's reasonable. Well then, how are you proceeding downstairs? Like, what are you trying to be more directly stealthy? Are you kind of checking out everywhere you go? What I'm saying, Pierre, is what's your action role?
I'm going to be prowling. I'm trying to remain as stealthy as I can.
Absolutely, that seems perfectly reasonable. How are we doing any modifiers to the role? I don't have a devil's bargain for you, but you could push yourself, or I think it's reasonable for Bricks to assist you. There's no rule that you have to have dots in the stats to assist, but it also feels a bit weird if you do assist with Prowl when you're shit at Prowl. But
I don't know. I think that's actually how, like, sometimes they do describe it as like it's a way that you can help without having
the actual thing. Yeah,
but you could also just like be a spotter.
Or every time Echo goes to make a step, Brick make a loud noise to cover the step.
Just cough.
Just punches the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that way you can't hear Echo.
No, that's fine. So, so you're making a prowl roll. So, Bricks, are you going to assist for a stress?
Yes.
Yes. If you can, I suspect you have a cat on your lap right now, but
I do.
Yes,
okay.
Good.
I am going to roll 4 dice. I got 5, 1, 6, 3, so 6. So really good.
Nice. Yeah, you are prowling. You make your way down to the 4th floor. And the first, like the 4th floor, seems to be very much like the floor above. You see a lot of what look like office doors leading off, maybe some storage, things like that. It's very notable. There are no names or writing on the doors, and then you remember Dalmor saying that the Scovland consulate has been recently moved to display kind of the Empire's current distaste for Scovland, which is why they've been given this fairly crappy building in Crowsfoot.
Quite possible.
Is that the name of the area? Yes, Crowsfoot.
Yes. The hive of scum and villainy. Yeah.
Yes, rather than in the fancier environs of Charterhall. You also see, and see in plenty of time with that lovely success you made, that there are 2. Maybe they're guards, maybe they're just workers, but they're moving around the balcony on the opposite side of the 4th floor from you currently. But you can't tell because the light is quite dim. You can't tell if they're just moving between offices or if they're patrolling in some way. But they're separate as well. They're not like together.
Okay, and they're walking in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I'll like signal to Bricks, and I'll like point the 2 people out to him so that I can maybe, if things go south, he can apply a bit of knuckle anesthetic.
Knuckle anesthetic are my favorite power metal band.
And I'll try and just wait. I'll try and time it so that if I can see that they're no, I can't see that they're patrolling. So I will keep going until I see if there's any sort of patrol path and try and avoid that particular path.
Sure. So you're trying to kind of navigate round them, or you're video gaming it, you're looking at their patrol route and kind of trying to go around that. So essentially your plan isn't changing, you're just shifting it to accommodate them.
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm.
Okay. Well, I think that's another roll, and I'm assuming you're going to go with Prowl again.
I would guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I'm also going to assist.
And you're going to assist again. So take another stress there, please, John. As Bricks kind of like this looming shadow behind you, kind of like hunt. Will you describe it to me, John? How is Bricks being stealthy? Stealthy or nonchalant, I guess. You could just be trying to look like you belong.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it.
Just kind of swaggering.
Like I think he's like sort of trying to stay out of sight, but not trying to look like he's staying out of sight.
Well, you know what? As well, I'd say that works for you because Steve, can you give us Brick's picture again? And here we go. Here's some world building straight from the back of my skull. So Bricks has that kind of like undercut, like long hair look, right? Skovlander names in the Blades in the Dark book are very kind of Scandinavian. So I'm going to say the Skovlander hair fashion is the fake Viking hair fashion that Viking TV shows do nowadays. So that kind of like cool, I'm somehow a biker from the 900s sort of vibe. That's how Skovlanders tend to have their hair. So you know what? I'll say that Bricks has kind of a Skovlander type haircut. Maybe it's fashionable with the kind of influx of refugees. When has a mighty empire ever culturally appropriated off people they brutally repressed recently? So
I think I've never actually said it on the stream, but the reason, or part of the reason for Brix's undercut is like the patterning on his head is actually like a network of scars after a very bad. Yeah, basically, partly because it's affected the way the hair grows, but also it just makes him look hard. After a bad visit to a certain Physica, who's named on my character sheet.
Absolutely,
thought you'd embrace it.
Cool, that's great. So yeah, so Bricks can definitely fit in there.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and like the one I'm going to try and sneak past is like if I was seen, I'm going to be more exposed to the one that is like closer to Bricks. The hope is that Bricks can then deal with that one.
Deal with that
if anything goes wrong.
So you're basically doing it so that one is out of the equation, and the other one maybe they can be dealt with.
Maybe they'll see me
some way or other. Yeah. Okay, I think that's perfectly fine. So why don't you go ahead and give me that prowl roll, and obviously you've got an extra die from Bricks' help.
Thank you very much.
4,
2, 1, 6. So 6.
Another 6. Whoa! It's just full of successes tonight. One of the others that you see kind of like walking around, you basically kind of like know where they seem to be walking back and forth, maybe between like a couple of they look like big sort of chests of drawers, like home furniture that's been repurposed to be used here in the Skovlander embassy. The whole place has this kind of threadbare and tattered appearance. And as you're like it's kind of stealthing around, you even find yourself kind of like you almost stumble for a moment, and a light skittering noise goes under your feet, and when you glance down, you see kind of like used drug paraphernalia like rolling against the side of the wall. So clearly they have not been here long enough or have been enthused enough to actually clean this place from clearly perhaps the squatters or ne'er-do-wells who were using it before they arrived. So it's pretty grim place, but regardless, you move around in a way in which you can get a real good look on the one person who's moving around. And you know what, as you slowly approach and just kind of try and figure out a way where they might you might be able to just move past them, and then you've only got maybe the one guy to deal with. They go into an office.
Okay.
Close the door, and you even hear it kind of like slot across. So clearly a worker doing some kind of late night job that maybe they don't want interruptions from, or maybe it's some kind of sketchy thing they don't want people spying on. Either way, they're out of the picture. But there is another one, and them starting to move around kind of near you now. And at that point of high tension, let's go to 3 sheets. So 3 sheets. We pick up with you. You turn right, and you're on this 5th floor. Are you there? I'd say there's like wooden stairs down on either side. So there's like 2 ways down, so you can go down on the other side from where Echo and Bricks are if you want, or you can stay on the 5th floor, or try and go down further to the 3rd floor. What are you doing?
I think I might go down further to the 3rd floor.
Sure. That seems good. I'm not going to make you. We've already had a roll for them prowling, so I'm not going to make you kind of do that. But I will make you. How are you navigating this 3rd floor? What are you prowling? Are you doing your hunting and hoping you just kind of stay under the radar?
I was planning on doing the hunting, and then my I'm not really trying to. I guess yeah. I'll give prowl a go. Actually, I was saying I wasn't going to try to escape, but I think 3 sheets now is getting quite prowly, so I think I could do a prowl.
Okay, that seems good, and that's that's definitely going to have a higher effect than the hunt roll. So why don't you go ahead and give me a prowl roll? Are you going to augment it in any way?
No, I've just got one die.
Straight up prowl roll. Let's do this. Go ahead.
6.
Hey!
I'm not joking.
There we go.
Well.
We are full of the rolls. Absolutely full of the rolls tonight. And I'm not talking bread.
I wish I was full of bread rolls.
I wish I was full of very cold bread rolls.
Excuse you, it's called a cob. And I'd thank you to remember it.
I think you'll find it's called a barm cake. So
it's true. All these things are true.
All these things are true. Everything is true. No bread roll is permitted. That's the wrong way around. Moving on. So 3 sheets, you navigate your way down to the 3rd floor without kind of any trouble. You can see in the shadows over on the opposite side of the 4th floor balcony, Bricks and Echo kind of navigating their way around. Well, Echo's in the shadows. Bricks is just kind of walking around in his best Scovlander walk, whatever that should be. Scovlanders are known for their kind of swagger, I think. Again, like bad Vikings in a bad Viking television program. Kind of, very confident. Justin.
I've had an idea. I was going to do a hunt roll to see how well this goes, but I was wondering instead if I could do another flashback, given the way you've described the place. Mm-hmm. Mostly because I want to have a flashback from when I used this place as a drug den, before the Scovland Embassy moved in. Ooh. And I have a place where I used to store my gear, And
is it going to still be there?
Well, no, I mean, it could still be there. But equally, it's a good place that I like to be a flashback to a place that I know to store things.
Absolutely, I think that's great. I think that's that's a 1 stress flashback, I think, but absolutely fine. And I would propose, it's up to you, that it's only now that you've realized that this is the same building, because
I never came in this way before. I used to use the front door.
And you probably also don't have terribly coherent memories of it. No. So you kind of with a thrill / quiver of remembrance realize, and the 3rd floor, that's where you used to stash your gear. So
if you pry open a panel, then
sure, or well, shall we say, because I don't think this place is wood paneled, so shall we say there's a little sandstone block in the wall, and you can kind of
loosen it,
jimmy that out with a gush of dust.
Yeah. I'm only saying that because of what you described upstairs. I was like, well, if it's a drug den, then
no, let's go for it. Let's do character building. So what I'm going to do for that flashback, I'm going to change your because it generally changes position or effect, right? I'm going to say that changes your position, because you know exactly where you're going and where what you're doing. The 3rd floor, from what you can see, it doesn't have any kind of no, that's rubbish. Let's find out. It has 2 people also moving around it that you can see. But you know what? Let's say it's not 2 people moving around the balcony. You can see that there's an office on the far side from where you've come down, and the door is just open, and it looks like quite a big office, and there are 2 people just kind of working there. You can hear their voices kind of drift across that void in the center of the building across you. They seem to be just talking about work in a very humdrum fashion. But yeah, fortunately for you, because we've changed your position there, the place where you need to stash things is on this side. So you can get a good you can get it out there fairly easily. Why don't you give me an action roll for, because this thing, it is there, but it it's gonna kind of when it comes out, it does make a bit of a noise and a bit of a mess. So what are we gonna roll to do this in a
Perhaps a finesse roll?
I think that's a pretty good choice. I think that's a choice with potentially great effect. And we've already said that this is going to be a controlled roll, so go ahead and make it.
I think
I don't have a devil's bargain for you. Yeah,
but I will spend 2 stress to
push yourself,
to push myself,
and that's including the 1 stress you've taken from the flashback as well. Like not including, rather, like in addition.
So I'm up to 6 now from 0 when I started.
It's fair, but you've had good results from it. And
I did, So I'm going to roll 2 dice, and I get a 1 and a 2.
Oh, the luck had to end somewhere.
Well, your luck has to end somewhere. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. So the thing for this is you falter, press on by seizing a risky opportunity, or withdraw and try a different approach. I'm going to say you kind of go over to this block, and you kind of like get your kind of fingertips around it and just start kind of trying to ease it out. And then you kind of stop and go, no. Oh, you were not in your right state of mind the last time you were here. And you have got they've changed quite a lot of things, and you've got yourself turned around. No, hang on. The place where you used to stash your gear isn't on this side of the balcony. It's on the other side, next to that open office.
Cool. Yeah, sure.
Which is a risky opportunity. And to get over there as well, I think we're going to have a roll to navigate our way over there, and also a roll to kind of open it up and potentially place something there. So how, assuming you want to go over there still and do that, how are we going to get over there? Is it going to be another prowl roll, or are you going to be
it should be a prowl roll, yeah.
You're prowling again, prowling, and this is risky.
I believe in you.
Any pushing or anything like that?
I think I really should push, but then I can't heal all the stress. So I think I will.
Bear in mind, I started off this engagement.
Pierre, I don't care what Echo started off on. She takes crazy mistakes. She makes crazy mistakes. I'll push myself because I think this needs it. So
okay. So that's up to the old 8 stress now, and you get 2 dice on the roll then. Nice. 2 6s. Come on.
4 and a 2.
Okay. Well, four's better than
a 2.
Not 4 is better than 3. It's definitely better than 3. I think. Yeah. Let's do this. You creep your way around, kind of trying to stick to the shadows, such as they are. Like the oil lamps are kind of turned up a bit more on this floor, and you realize why as you find yourself kind of creeping past quite a large, ornate door. It literally looks like it's been installed here recently. It does not look like a door that belongs here. And as you go past it, you can see that the word console is etched on the kind of glass panel in the center of the door, and you kind of creep your way past it very gingerly because the light is on. And you make your way around and just kind of come around to where that loose brick is in the wall and go, just about done it. And then reach forward, and there's just the creak of floorboards underneath you, which we are going to say is a couple of ticks of a clock.
Cool.
And as you do so, you hear one of the 2 individuals in the room. You hear kind of a woman's voice say something. Then someone standing and walking over to the doorway, and you can sense them. They're not out of the doorway, but they're stood just inside it, and you kind of hear like a sort of sharp noise, and then like a wisp of pipe smoke coming out and kind of drifting up, and you hear a creak of someone leaning on a door frame, and you're there now by where you need to secrete things. Right there is a Skovlander worker, taking a quick pipe break, and your role to secure, your runestone behind there is going to be a desperate one. But before we do that, let's go back to the others. Hi. Hello. So you have an individual near you who's got to be. You haven't even looked for a place to put things yet. So what's your priority here? What's our next step with someone near you who's kind of unaccounted for so far?
So this is the one this one's nearer to Bricks than to me, right?
Yeah, and they look like they're wearing a very scuffed and moth-eaten military uniform. So it's a fair bet that they're a guard of some kind.
I think I need to trust in Bricks to
do something.
To deal with that guy while I try and find a good spot.
Find a good spot. Well, you know what then? I think we've got a double roll right here. I think we've got a double-barreled roll of how this person is dealt with by Bricks, and how Echo is going to be hunting for a place for this runestone to go. So why don't Bricks first? Let's go with Bricks first. What action roll are you going to make to deal with this individual? They're kind of probably about 10 feet in front of you. They're at the moment haven't been kind of like disturbed by anything you've done. They were kind of like fiddling with something in one of those kind of chest of drawers or old cupboards that's just been put here where presumably files and notations of various kinds are. But now they're just kind of like clearly taking again a bit of a break and just kind of leaning on the balcony, kind of like looking very bored and kind of looking down down at the ground floor below. And you can also see a little spark of light where someone has lit a pipe that's on the floor below with smoke drifting up.
I am.
I'll be honest, I'm struggling to see a choice that you make here that's not walking up behind them and kind of
Andre the Giant style.
Yeah.
I was going to instead suggest a command of something on the lines of, "I want you downstairs."
Right. Yeah. Like a forceful sort of like,
on the third floor, next to the consul office.
Yeah.
Yeah, right next to that dodgy looking bloke moving the brick. No,
that woman down there smoking the pipe, she wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
Dear.
Just
kind of walking up confident, like, they want you down in the lobby sort of thing.
Yeah. Go on.
Okay. Well, why don't you let's play this out. You walk up confidently. Tell me what you say, and tell me how you get his attention as well.
We've already established that Skovlanders do like a thing, right?
I think we say that was a Skovlander thing, like a
Was
it that or was it like that?
Wasn't the iron something? Yeah.
The Ironborn. Mm-hmm.
The Ironborn.
Spoilers, the Ironborn are Skovlanders.
So yeah.
I think we thought it was like a Roman thing with one arm.
Yeah, one fist thing. I can't remember if it was like that or like the X-Men.
It was one.
One thing. That was a really foolish thing to do because life detail that doesn't give any personal details away, folks. It was my second Jabbiversary today, and I just went, and I fucking did it again for you,
Why?
for you people, and
You're
now
you get doxed for this.
it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
So I'm gonna walk up to him, give him and say, "Get downstairs."
Just kind of very terse.
Yeah.
To the point. All right. let's see how that goes. Are you augmenting the roll in any way? Shall I offer a devil's bargain here? Yeah, I am going to offer the devil's bargain of, because you are walking straight up to this guy and you are quite distinctive, I'm going to say you can take an extra die for a heat.
What heat are we on?
I think you're quite low heat.
Sheet.
I think you're quite low heat, but you've got a wanted level of 1. But your actual heat is quite low, I think.
Currently on heat
1?
3.
3, okay.
Which is kind of a point. Does this count as passing myself off as a citizen?
Why? Because of your load, you mean?
Yeah, no, because
of our
of
bonus.
our ability to do that heat.
Yeah, I guess so. What is your ability
They
to
get
do
an extra
with your heat?
die.
Yeah, when our heat is 4 or less, get an extra die to deceive people when you pass yourself off as an ordinary citizen.
Yeah, sure. Well, you can take that anyway then, but I will give you an extra 1 for 1 heat if you want.
I would rather push myself.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so you get 1 from the keeper's ability there. You get 1 from pushing yourself for 2 stress, and I think your command's decent already anyway, right? Like 2 or something. Yeah.
Yep.
4 dice. And hey, 4 dice has not let us down tonight yet.
Oh god.
Yeah.
It really can. It's amazing.
You really can.
You're not making this easy.
Sorry.
6. 1, 3, 4, and 6.
What is with these dice? What is with these dice that they're cheating? You walk up to the guy, and I think you just said downstairs now or something like that, right? Yeah, and he kind of turns you, just gets kind of the briefest glance of you. You know, you're quite. He's not a small guy, but you're a big guy, and intimidating, and just goes, "Oh, all right, yes, I was just resting my feet." And he clearly, because he thinks because he's leaning that you were like, you know, on his case, and he kind of like shuffles off to the stairs down fairly swiftly. Fortunately, the one's on the other side from Justin, and kind of heads off down. Gone. Apart from 1 locked door with someone inside, you have the floor to yourself now. Echo, how are you finding a good place for the runestone?
Yeah, so I am trying to. So, do any of the doors look particularly fancy or in any way more used? Or
you know what, I think I said it looks very similar to the floor above, in which case no, they all look quite generic. You've passed a couple of slightly open ones, you've seen some offices, some what looks like kind of storage space, but nothing leaps out at you. No.
Okay, because so maybe I'll say what my aim is, and then we'll see how many doors I've got to open before like I find this thing, or
Sure.
if that's at all possible. So the thing I'm looking for is maybe a place where an officer or someone who's, maybe not the highest ranking person, but just like a person,
like a security office sort of thing.
No, I was imagining like someone. The thing I was imagining doing was if there's like any sort of like smoke boxes or anything like that, where like somebody would open it in order to like light up one of their cigarettes or have a nice relaxing pipe break or something, then put it in like inside of that box or something like that. But in an important person's hidden in an important person's room somewhere.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be specifically in a smoke box or in like.
Yeah, like I think. I mean, you'll have to kind of take your pick of the office. Like I say, none of the offices particularly look like massively important.
I'll go to the closest one then.
But yeah, the highest ranking one you can find and the best secreting place, like a smoke box inside, that you can find.
Yeah.
What role are you making for it?
Probably survey, because I'm looking rather than
kind of taking. Yeah. Survey. Are you augmenting the role in any way? I don't think I have a devil's bargain for you.
I can't really. So I'm just rolling 1 dice, but I'm going to give it a go.
Give it a go.
1.
That's the opposite of 6.
Yeah, that is on the other side.
It is the opposite of 6. So that was a controlled roll. So you take a look around this floor, and you find that basically everywhere here seems to be, at first glance, they seem to be offices, but now they seem to be like all empty offices. Kind of all the furniture is in there, but clearly no one uses them. Presumably a load of the staff of the consulate was let go when kind of their budget was slashed and they were moved here and all that kind of thing. Or maybe they were let go years ago during the civil war with Scotland. Either way, yeah, it looks like no office on this floor is in use except the one that has someone in who has closed the door behind them. And I think I said even bolted it, which puts you in a risky position. So you can try and get in there unbeknownst to them and secrete it while they're working in there. It looks like a fairly large room, so it's, feasible.
Possible.
Or you can abandon, try a different approach, which I'd say for the purposes of this would be the floor. Like you rinsed the 4th floor dry at this point. So that is your opportunity, or you can move on.
Sorry, what were you saying about I don't understand by the floor?
So because it was a controlled thing, basically you can press on by seizing a risky opportunity or withdraw and try a different approach. So what I'm saying is, if you want to secrete a runestone on the 4th floor, it's that office or go to a different floor.
Okay. And I'm aware that 3 Sheets has gone to the 3rd floor now.
I'd say, yeah. You've
probably seen me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I guess there's some sort of...
Yeah.
Let's try that office.
Deeper into the belly of the beast, or try the risky approach?
What's the worst that can happen?
What is the worst that could happen? So, you have to get into this... to this office now, but before we discuss how you do that, let's go back to 3 Sheets. So 3 Sheets, if you want to put stuff in your old stash space, you have I think I said a desperate roll to make here.
Great. And part of me thinks that I should just basically wait it out and unlike wait for the person to goes back into their room, before I make my move. Makes sense?
I think just staying here is going to be a desperate roll as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just wonder whether staying here.
Yeah, it's up to you. Like, either you are trying for it now, or
is there anywhere,
or lurking or moving on.
Is there anywhere to lurk behind that I can prove my position by moving somewhere more quiet, like more hidden?
There are those like I described, the old like house furnishings around the place that you could you could try and lurk behind, but moving away from the position you're in now, because she's right there, also
could cause quickie.
Essentially, kind of you can't not be in a desperate position because that's where you've ended up in from the roll previously. So,
okay,
you can try and secure it, or move away, or lurk, but any of those is going to leave you in a desperate position.
My thought is I would like to be quiet with a hunt roll, and because when you're hunting, you're used to that moment where right before you take a shot, where you've got to be very quiet and you've got to be completely still, and you slow your breathing and all the rest of it. Because I'm not prowling anywhere, I'm not moving. I'm just gonna go into that zone.
You can absolutely do that, of course. I think that's limited effect because that's like a tangential word play based on the word hunt.
What are you talking about?
But you can absolutely do. But the thing is that you might still go for that, because if your hunt is high enough, it's still, even though you've only got limited effect, it might be a better approach than going for something a bit more appropriate. Yeah.
I guess there's that, or
I mean, what are you thinking here? Sorry, are you thinking of lurking or
I definitely want to stay still.
Right.
So I don't know if that is a prowl. My point is, I'm not sure if that is a prowl roll, but I can roll a prowl roll.
I think prowl applies, depending on how you're doing it. I think as always, anything applies. It's just how appropriate it is. I think Prowler's one of the more appropriate, certainly.
Yeah. I will roll a Prowl roll, but I don't have the stress to take any more. So unless anyone's got a Devil's Bargain, it is a single die.
You're obviously feeling under the cosh a bit here, so I'll give you a Devil's Bargain.
Great.
I'll give you a Devil's Bargain, friend.
Is it a clock? Because I can't say no to clocks.
You know what? It's a clock.
Yeah.
Fuck it, it's a clock. Let's let's have a clock here.
Oh, you're so kind to me.
For that. I know. I'm lovely.
2 4s.
2 4s. Okay. Well then, from a desperate position, and don't forget to take your XP for a desperate roll. So in a desperate position, yes. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's. There we go. Yeah.
No such thing as a bad
clock has now been filled. So you kind of lurk there, kind of just staying as still as possible, barely breathing, until eventually you hear kind of like the tap of her kind of knocking her pipe out on the lintel of the door and walking inside, and you kind of put yourself out.
Cool.
And then, unfortunately, you've been waiting quite a while for that, and down below you can hear this a bit better than Echo can, though Echo and Bricks can hear it as well, certainly. There's quite a strong voice down from the ground floor, kind of not shouts out, but definitely says very loudly and clearly, doors shut, 10 minutes, patrol, search the entire building.
Cool.
And you can hear the tramping of some feet starting on kind of the stairs at the bottom as a little troop, like 4 or 5 armed Skovlander militia kind of like start walking up the stairs to make sure the building is clear of all these filthy petitioners and refugees before they can shut their doors for the night. So that has started another clock, essentially, right? And it's based on time. So how much time I think your tasks take equates to how many floors they're coming up, right? So with that in mind, 3 sheets, I'd say you can now make a risky roll if you want to try and, if you still want to put the runestone here.
I do.
Is that going to be, because last time you tried this on the place where we didn't get it, it was a finesse roll. Are we going for that again?
That is correct.
I think that's a good choice, and I think that will have great effect. Yeah.
Oh, I've got a single die, and I'm just going to roll it, I think.
Do it.
3.
Okay. So
was that a risky roll?
That was a risky roll. So this you are struggling. Whatever it is, it's been a couple of years since you were in here, and clearly, perhaps someone sealed it. Perhaps someone. You're really struggling to get it loose. But I'd say, you know what? I'll give you this. Your consequence here. I'm going to move it to a desperate position. And you can give one more go of this if you want. And I'm adding a tick to the clock already for that. You're in a desperate position now, but you can try and make that roll again if you want. And you can change the action roll, or you can, not. I think there are other actions that could other actions that could apply other than finesse, depending on how you wanted to do this, especially now that it's stuck. Although I don't know what score you have in these different things.
I don't have much score in the other different things, unless it's skirmishing it open.
I didn't know if you had any wreck, because I did have a...
I don't have any wreck. I think that 3 sheets is kind of as much interested in finding out what is left of his old supply as he is doing this. I'm going to keep
absolutely. Okay, here we go. I'll give you a devil's bargain of escalating your harm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Also, I suppose one of the reasons I probably should have said is my ferret bite probably means I have less effect as well, because it's a physical hand thing.
That's fair on your hand. You know what? Wow. Thank you for being honest with that. I
meant to say that when I did the last one as well.
Yeah, it was going to be great effect though, so it'll still just be standard effect, which isn't too much of a difference. But yeah, I think that's fair.
But my harm gets worse. So like maybe whatever I'm doing, my hands.
I got something in mind, my friend. I will tell you what happens.
A 6 and a 2.
Lovely. You wrench the brick out of place. Eventually, it manages to give much. You pull it out and feel a sharp sting near the wound that Marcus gave you, and you kind of look down, and you clearly someone between you and the consulate coming here had exactly the same idea as you, and they stored some of their gear here, which includes one rusty and unpleasant Physica's needle, which is now lodged in your hand near that wound. Can you escalate your bite up one and put it infected bite wound?
This is not the first story that you've run where I've had an infected bite wound, is it?
It's not. No, this one will have less immediately dire consequences.
Yeah.
But it's there. It's open. Are you flinging?
I'm taking everything. I'm shoving everything that's in there into my bag, and I'm replacing it with a runestone and slamming it shut.
And closing behind it, absolutely. And then presumably desperately desperately making your way back up, starting back up the stairs. Yeah. I'm not going to bother asking people for rolls to do that. Cool. Above, Echo, Bricks. You heard that patrol starting down below. You hear someone down below kind of calling out as well. I heard some noises up on the top floor. Don't forget to check there. Kind of right. Just wanted to call back to those creaking floorboards and stuff. So how are you going to do this? How are you going to get into that office? And how are you going to deal with the guy in there? Maybe Bricks can come in at this point.
Well, hearing that thing, I'm not sure how quickly we can actually solve this problem. Is it locked or is it bolted? Or
it seems to be latched, but of course you have already dealt with one latch tonight.
I know. I have some fantastic tools at my disposal. I don't want him to know at all. I think I will just try and pick that lock and see if I can do it quietly and quickly, but I might actually abandon this if this takes too long.
Sure. Well, why don't you then? What role are you making for that?
I was thinking finesse, because it's just really.
I think that's
fine movement.
It's this funny thing in the game where it's you can pick any action you want, but most of them are fairly obvious what to pick. I think, but are you augmenting in that in any way? Is Brick going to help you, or Bricks rather, not Brick? You're not from Borderlands.
Singular Brick.
No.
One Brick.
No. I am running slightly high on stress, so unless you call me over, I will be keeping watch, very tense watch.
How do
I track where the guards are in their patrol?
Okay. I can push myself, and that would put me on 8 out of 9 stress. Probably not a good idea. However, I could perform a feat of athletics that verges on the superhuman if I did push myself.
Every session.
I mean, this is great, but I don't really see how it can help me.
So much stress.
It is probably how it is. Okay, I'm not going to push myself. I'm going to relax.
To rely on. But you got pretty good finesse anyway, right?
Yep. So I'm rolling 2 dice. I don't think there's any devil's bargains. So I'm just going. Is it desperate, basically?
No, I think we said it was risky at this point. So
cool. I am then going to roll. I got a 4 and a 5.
Cool. Oh yeah, Justin, don't forget because you did an extra desperate roll there, right? Did you? The desperate roll for lurking, did you remember to do an XP for that when you were lurking and waiting? Yeah. Whatever. 4 and a 5, right?
Cool.
Yep.
Okay. Let's look at the old. What I have to offer in terms of complications. Then, yeah. Okay. I think this is fine. So yeah, you managed feverishly working away, and quite quickly managed to kind of unlatch the door and just kind of like. Are you kind of slowly easing out and hope he's not like sat right there,
watching the door? Yeah. I'll be slow rather than when I'm opening that door.
Sure. So he sat right there, looking at the door with an old, like a kind of battered metal typewriter, going, Anyone taking an action at this point? Echo, Bricks, it's a desperate position to how you're going to deal with this.
Oh, God.
Kill the man.
I think this, from hearing him talk, I'm going to turn, just like push Echo and the door aside, walk up to the desk, and just go.
Really,
and I'm going to say,
you are the least violent person this crew has ever had.
No,
I don't think you've hit someone yet.
I have.
Someone yet.
I'm also, however, going to say that, ow, the cat just clawed me. I'm going to be wearing my weapon of choice, which is like some variation of brass knuckles, or I have an idea of like reinforced gauntlets.
So add them to your load, and then so you're intimidating the guy into shutting the fuck up. Basically.
Yes, which
you
is
are aware that even if you just do that, he will see where you put the runestone, presumably.
That's true.
Punch him in the face.
It will have. It might have the desired effect you want right now, because that just depends on your role. But I've got to think about these things in terms of what might come later of them as well. I just wanted you to be aware that if you creep in and put a runestone in a place,
You are completely right. I'm going to run in, and I'm going to. I was going to say grab him in a chokehold, because I want to also keep him quiet.
Okay. So you could like try and grab him and maybe swing him so he can't see what Echo's doing, put him out, that kind of thing. You're gonna Samoa Joe this guy.
I'm gonna put him in a cravat hold and tuck him underarm so that he can only see his own feet.
Guillotine. You're more of a Roman Reigns guy. That's cool. That'll appeal to like 3 people who watch this, maybe. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, what are you using for this action roll?
Oh, it's going to be.
Is it skirmish?
Sway.
It's
Sway. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty persuasive. It's a pretty persuasive argument.
Rick sways from the left to the right.
Yeah. Wow. Reducing the oxygen intake. Cool. Yeah. You dash up to this guy, try and get him in a nice submission hold and choke the guy out. Are you augmenting the roll in any way? I don't think I've got a devil's bargain for you. I think this is a pretty straightforward kind of roll.
I've got a devil's bargain. He dies.
Ooh, like that.
Anything I can do to escalate the situation. I'm like,
and I think that, like, because it needs to have. I mean, that comes under collateral damage as well. But you could also say maybe that's heat as well. Well, yeah, but I think that's enough information for me to then do something from that.
Any other devil's bargains?
On the plus side, he's dead.
That's fair.
There's pluses and minuses there, isn't there? But it's definitely collateral damage there.
One of the things I was thinking about, which might be related to Justin's devil's bargain, which is the idea of after you've knocked him out, dousing him with alcohol or injecting him with the drug and making it out like he's just knocked himself out or whatever. And
I really thought you were going to say after he's knocked out, douse him with alcohol, set him alight.
Set him on fire.
That's what I was thinking.
Why would you think that? That's not Echo's thing.
Echo, you already started one fire.
I was just proposing injecting him with an unknown and aging drug from a rusty syringe.
Just want to make sure that his family believes that he died as from a drug overdose rather than
him,
was murdered.
Like doing something that might make people mistrust what he says about what he saw.
Yeah.
So if he happened to have any drugs in his, or like alcohol in his, like in that office.
Can I ask how this is a devil's bargain?
So I was suggesting that could be related to the thing that Three Sheep said, Justin said about killing a person accidentally.
I think having someone in a guillotine trying to choke them out is
probably.
I don't think you need a reason why they might die. I think the reason they might die is because they're in a guillotine hold and they might choke.
Yeah,
fair.
Or neck might break. Or
overly,
enthusiastic.
All right, let's just set him on fire then.
Do it on purpose then. All right. Bricks, are you taking the guy dies devil's bargain? He's got kids.
There's a photo of them on the table.
Everyone in Doskville has kids.
They're playing with a hand that's been thrown to them from the side.
Yeah. Callback. Like it.
For some reason, I just have like the Rick and Morty bit. He's a bureaucrat. I don't respect him.
I don't respect him.
So I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it.
Oh my god.
Fair enough. Then roll your skirmish. I believe I said this is desperate, so you can take the XP for it as well.
This is a 6, and as a note for role-playing purposes, I have a thing that when I unleash physical violence, I'm particularly scary.
Oh god.
Great.
Okay.
Terrified to death. Got it.
So, you just dash past Echo, knocking Echo to one side. The door swings open. You just grab the guy, swing him round under kind of your arm and heave up to choke him through. And kind of Echo, like Bricks is just moving past you like a predator, like an apex predator, grabbing the guy, wrenching him round. He just drops to the ground, dead. Head like turned almost facing you at an unnatural angle.
Bricks.
Get it done.
He ain't a problem anymore.
Dalmore's going to love how he did this.
We're leaving.
So,
Echo.
Is there a window in this room out to the canal?
There is there's a window. But I mean, the patrol is still a couple of floors below you. You still have to find a place to put the runestone.
Yeah. My thought was disposing of the body out the window.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, you can do. I'll ask you for a roll to do that. You can dump him out in the canal.
Sure. Okay. I'll say, shit. Okay, you dump him out. I'll find a place to, I'll find a place to hide this.
Done.
Yeah, I don't think Ricks, because we were saying Rick and Morty. I don't think Bricks needs to roll to heft someone up and throw them out the window, especially when they just broke them, Bane style. Echo, what are you rolling to find a good place to put something?
I keep thinking it's survey. I can't think of any reason it's anything else particularly.
I think you could if you had time. I think study might be a good option. Hunt is good. You're looking for a place, I think.
Yeah, I don't really have it, so I guess I'm going to go for.
You can say finesse if you want to store it somewhere, not secret, but like. There's a little hidden thing just under this desk. I could try and secure it between the drawer and the desk or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose balance it on something or under
balance
something.
It on the top of the door lintel, just past where anyone can see it. Something like that. I think that's finesse, right?
I'll give that a go. That sounds cool.
Sure. Let's go with that. Are you in any way augmenting that? I do not have a devil's bargain for you.
No, I don't think I am.
Okay.
I think I'm in.
Go for it.
2 and a 1. A failure. So I'm trying to balance it up.
Yeah, it's not staying up there. It's just not at all staying up there. That's another tick on the clock. You can hear them now. You think they're arriving on the 3rd floor now. So they're just behind you. I'm going to say 3 sheets. Would you have headed straight up to the top, or do you think at this point you might kind of move past this door and see them in there? So I just think it might be a nice idea if all 3 of you can like try and get this done before like.
Yeah.
I think I'd head to the window.
Okay, you just head straight up. You don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck it. I think what I do is I just
Bricks can get in on this as well if he wants.
Yeah. So you've thrown this guy out the window.
Yeah. Hell, think outside the box. Use wreck. Fucking punch a hole in a piece of furniture and dump it in there. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Use wreck. Never the answer to any question, any situation.
I mean, is there just like a set of drawers? We could just hide it badly, right?
Yeah, you can.
It's a paperweight. It's a paperweight.
I'm gonna move an amount of like.
I'm sure Dom's employer wouldn't be bothered if you just made the minimal effort.
Yeah. No,
hey,
definitely
look,
not.
they're never going to get the ferret ones. This one is here. It's just not even insurance,
I don't think this office is fancy enough to have potted plants, but I'm moving aside some form of furniture.
Okay, like
raising up the
something.
Floorboard, stashing it in there, and then moving the furniture back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's fine, and I think that is a rec roll. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's fine. Are you augmenting that in any way? Is Echo going to assist for 1 stress? Anything like that?
We could
This
make
is
it
going to be
group
risky.
action.
Yeah, you could absolutely make it a group action. Yeah.
Like if I'm, are you okay leading a group action?
I get.
Yes.
Here's my question to you, Echo. How much do you have in rec?
1.
So it's the same number of dice for you just to assist.
Yeah, I can assist.
Yeah.
But I guess then the stress might go on Bricks instead of you if you roll it. Yeah, I don't know whether that's.
I'm happy either way.
I think it's 1. Really.
If it's easier, I can give you an assistance.
I think you risk more stress with a group action
overall
because you could both gain.
roll.
Like Bricks could gain 2 stress
Yeah.
from a group action, whereas you will definitely gain 1 stress from just assisting. Does that make sense? But it's the same result either way. It's an extra die to the roll, isn't it? Because it's either Bricks gains an extra die or you roll a die.
Of the things. But yeah, let's. I'm happy to assist.
Okay. And because I haven't really used much of my load, I'm going to say I brought a crowbar.
Okay.
Maybe like a mini crowbar, but
sure. I mean, I'll say that's a great effect. So yeah, which may help you in how much time this takes up.
okay. So that's 2 dice that I'm rolling.
Do you only have 1 in rec? Ooh.
Yeah. I went for skirmish.
The fool.
4.
Okay. Well, that's a success. He says with his mouse dying at the opportune moment. Great stuff. Okay. So
That means clocks can't tick.
No, you know what? I'm afraid it does, Justin. My clocks are purely pen-based.
No.
So I'm going to take as a complication from that, like reduced effect. So your crowbar doesn't prove particularly good at wrenching up the floorboards, which means it takes a bit more time than you would like. And you're just you've moved. There's a large, what looks like someone's old vanity, in fact, that they've brought from someone's house that you kind of grind aside. You do manage to eventually get the floorboard up, and you just kind of like lobbing the runestone down it and desperately trying to get everything back in place. What's the tactic there?
I think pretty much, throwing it.
And
making a hole, throwing it in, and just trying to cover it up and get out.
Yeah.
I think that's probably. My mouse is entirely given up. Great. New battery, obviously. Battery put in 2 days ago. Doesn't matter. You manage to do this, and you heave with Echo's help. You kind of heave the vanity back over it with a grinding creak that's way too loud for your own personal liking, and you can hear them now. You can hear their steps coming up to the 4th floor. I think by this point, 3 Sheets has probably already pretty much absconded to the room. So you're just are you climbing down the ladder, or are you waiting for them?
Yeah, I'm climbing.
Getting out of there. Just absolutely.
I'm going to get the boat started.
You're punting away.
I might do. If they can't get down. We said 15 minutes.
Absolutely. Bricks and Echo, I am going to say that this right now is a risky roll, but it could very well go desperate. What roll are you making to escape the attention of the patrol that is now stomping up the stairs to the 4th floor and getting yourself up out to the escape point?
How would it be bad to provide some metagame advice to you?
Yes.
Given I'm not there. Fine, I won't say anything then.
No, go ahead.
No, I won't. It's fine.
No, that's fine.
I just want to say that the door was locked before.
Yeah.
There's no reason why they wouldn't expect it to be locked again.
They did say search everywhere, though, didn't they?
Well, the door's locked. What can I do?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing.
What could 4 or 5 heavily armed men do against a common door?
True.
I'm wondering if we could find a way to send them into a.
I think it's a tactic you could take.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a way that we could make some noise in a different room, send them in there, and then while they're looking in there, head out ourselves. And do I have anything for just such an occasion? My mouse. Yeah.
I mean, I think there's lots of. You could try and sneak. You could just run. You could, any number of things.
Just bolt it as fast as we can. I mean, I'm pretty good at sneaking, but I feel like
Brick's great at punching.
Bricks is great at punching.
Is or not? You could wait for them to come to the door and just fucking barrel through them, and any number of things.
At the moment, it's nearly flawless, apart from the.
Are the guards moving? Are they moving as one group, or are they
flawless?
Well, I would say that it's probable that doesn't really matter for the purposes of how we pick action rolls in this, but they're just walking as a group. They look, kind of. Oh, actually, let me revise that. How would you know?
I guess by listening to footsteps, but yeah, that's fair.
I don't think you can tell by footsteps exactly how someone is moving, and not unless you're some kind of superhero.
Okay.
In many ways, Bricks is the opposite of that.
Is there any way to get out?
It doesn't sound complicated. They look like they're moving as a group around the balcony. Okay. Is there any way to get out of the window? Yeah, opening it.
Yep. Is there any way to get out from that window to the
kind of scale across the building to the rope?
Yeah, to the rope ladder.
Yeah. I'd say you can do it by scaling across the building to the rope ladder.
That sounds like
how Bricks will handle that is maybe another matter.
Yeah, shit.
Try group action for that.
Yep. I mean, maybe I could drag it over, but I suppose it's I don't know. What do you think, Bricks?
More than one roll, and they're going to be on you. Realistically speaking, here, because the time to them being on you is one tick of the clock.
You could diversify your strategies. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. One of you will get out alive.
How about this? Bricks, lock the door. I'll try and get the rope ladder, and we'll make it out that way.
All right. They break through.
Cut the rope
I'm breaking out.
Yeah, because we're on the 4th floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still fucking high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still pretty high.
Yeah. Well, we'll try that. The door might buy us a little bit more time.
Will you? That sounds like you're speaking for Bricks a bit.
Oh, sorry.
Bricks, are you happy with that?
Yeah, that's. I said.
Or we
I'll
can
lock the door. They break in. I'll break through. You got your climbing gear.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go then. So you are going to try and scale across across that fourth floor over to the rope ladder, drag it back so that you and Bricks can kind of swing across on the rope ladder and make your way back down to the canal barge. What action roll are you making for this, Pierre?
Prowl.
I think, yeah. Are you augmenting it in any way?
I can't.
No, fair enough.
How is it? What's my position? Is it desperate? Is the only real?
I think the position is desperate. Yes.
Do you have any like harms that could be exacerbated? Physical harms that could be exacerbated?
Black eye, which I think probably not.
Like caved in skull. That could go up to that, couldn't it?
But I can do my daredevil thing of, if it's a desperate action, accepting a worse outcome, which I think I'll go for.
What does that? Can you tell me exactly how that works?
I get one when you roll a desperate action, you get +1 dice to your roll if you also take -1 dice to any resistance rolls against consequences from your action.
Yeah, I think that's very appropriate. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do that. Yeah,
this is bad. All right, rolling 4 dice. 2, 3, 3, 2. That's not good. That's not
that
good.
is not good.
Echo just spins into the water below.
I think you are going to fall. You know that resistance roll you get less dice on. Are you going to make the resistance roll?
Well,
can we have any idea of what the harm is going to be? What level the harm is going to be? Or
I don't want to die is the thing.
I don't think I mean, it's harm from a desperate roll, so it's going to be level 3. But I don't think I have to tell you exactly what the consequence is.
I think I'm going to try and resist the harm. Yeah.
I mean, you will resist the harm. It's just you're probably.
Yeah.
Are you taking that second plunge into the deep waters of Duskfall?
Don't worry. I have 2 stress as a buffer, which means I have 1 stress that I can take. So I have to roll a 5, I think, in order to.
How dice are rolling?
Immediately. I'm rolling 2 dice instead of 3. assuming that the type of harm is a prowess harm.
It will be prowess, yes.
Okay, well, I'll roll that then. I rolled a 2 and a 3, which fills my stress clock.
Bricks, you have locked the door, as you said, or at least bolted it. I take it you're over by the window, kind of like trying to,
keep an eye on her.
You just are kind of peering out. Echo is like this darker shadow creeping across the wall. 3 sheets. You can probably, the misty hour is over. You can see this open window and what's going on above you, and both of you just hear this kind of crumbling crack and a thin, reedy, slightly muffled voice going, "Not again." Echo just
what is this, Team Rocket?
Like just comes away and like plummets down, and just about 20 feet across from you in the canal, 3 sheets, just like great spray of water as Echo disappears under the cold waters. Bricks, what are you going to do?
I've got a hook. I can hook him out of the.
No. Bricks, sorry, what are you going to do?
Well, I don't think I can help Echo. I'm going.
You can't. No.
I'm going to say, "Fuck," and I'm going to go stand next to / behind the door and wait for the guards.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, they start. Rattling the door fairly soon after you do that, and start shouting, kind of saying, "Oh, open up! We need to check before the doors are closed."
I will say nothing because I'm waiting for them to break in.
Okay. Echo, don't forget your desperate XP, by the way, for that last near fatal plunge. Okay. They start rattling it harder and demanding to be let in. And eventually, they, you can hear one of them trying to like force the door, yelling for who's in there and saying, right, stand back. And kind of the door is kicked away in front of you, and a Scovlander in the militia uniform kind of barges in, kind of looking around.
My plan was, as they push the door open, to slam it back in their faces.
Okay. Yeah. I take it. Is that a skirmish roll?
Yes. I'm basically now that they're in, I'm going to try and knock them both down and then run for it.
By both, do you mean all 5 of them?
Oh, I thought there were only 2.
I said multiple times that there were 4 or 5 in the patrol. Do you want to revise that you're waiting for them? Because if you thought there were 2, I'm happy for us to quickly retcon to 30 seconds ago. Because I did wonder why you were waiting for 5 men to come in.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bricks just believes
if you misheard me, I'm perfectly happy to wind that choice back.
In that case, I'm just going to unlock the door and try and run for it.
Fair enough. Yeah, because I think I said they weren't quite at the door yet, right? They were patrolling along. What role are you going to make to run for it?
That's a very good question. What is it that we normally use for just moving, guys?
Prowl.
Prowl is the usual one to move. I think there are other options here. I think you could make an argument for skirmish. If you're just running through them, battering them aside, and just trying to run either out and down through the front door or up to the rope ladder, I think you could make an argument for skirmish. I definitely do. Yeah.
I was going to try and convince you to go for a hunt, but if you're happy with a skirmish,
I'll take a skirmish. It won't be great effect. I think prowl will be great effect because that's just running, right? But I think you could make an argument for skirmish. And I will offer you a devil's bargain, and the devil's bargain will be an extra heat because one of them gets a good look at you. But at this stage, this seems relatively minor issue.
Yep, I'm happy to go for that.
Yeah, you going for that?
Yep.
Okay. I'd say this is a desperate roll. So why don't you give yourself an XP in prowess again? Getting all the prowess XP tonight, and give me that roll with that devil's bargain.
6.
There we go.
Yeah.
You kind of let's mix and match a little bit. You wait until they're just outside the door, and then you smash your way out, kind of clubbing them aside. One of them they're kind of falling over. One of them kind of topples over the guardrail and is kind of kind of desperately holding on above the massive plunge. One of them manages to kind of stagger away and is kind of crab walking away from you. And he's the one who kind of gets a good look at you. He was massive, sir. And you dash your feet just thudding hugely on the floor of the balcony. You wind your way up to the 5th floor, to that window, kind of with a grunt, hit yourself over the edge and just desperately make your way back down. I'm guessing there's no kind of release thing on the rope ladder, so you will, no matter what you've done, have left a rope ladder dangling. But I'm saying that, they'll know someone was there. I think they would kill someone was there now anyway.
Unless
it's hardly a concern.
Unless we have property of the keepers, please return to embroidered down the side.
It has Echo's Hobble address on it.
It's all of
you clamber your way down to the barge. You and Three Sheets kind of, presumably sharing a glance. Is there any effort to wait for Echo to emerge from the waters? I'll tell you right now, Echo is not immediately emerging from those waters.
I would have tried to drag Echo out. I'd have first picked up the other body.
Echo disappears from the story for a period of time.
Damn it! Well, then
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right, Pierre. You are over your trauma, right? You are hitting another trauma. Yeah.
I think that
can also be me being unconscious, right? Or dead.
Sure.
Or not dead,
I mean, yeah. Do people have a problem with me narratively saying that Echo just goes missing?
I definitely would look though, and I have a bit of time because Bricks is going to climb down a rope ladder from a fourth floor.
Yeah, but people keep challenging me on this. Are you unhappy with this?
No.
Okay.
No.
Sure. There's no sign of Echo, but she vanished into the dark waters of Doswell's canals before and emerged fine. So clearly, what could go wrong? I'm assuming we're barging the hell out of here.
Yep.
I just want to ask, would it be possible to make some kind of finesse roll to try and find Echo in that time that Bricks is escaping?
You really seem to have a problem with Echo disappearing. I assure you it's part of the mechanic.
Well, okay. I think the reason that Justin's bringing this up is because it probably makes a bit of sense for 3 sheets to search a little bit, having just seen Echo plunge into the water.
And the main
searching doesn't need a mechanical thing.
What I'm really getting at is how long. I don't think 3 sheets in Bricks would be happy to leave without Echo, and so it depends. Like if we could find Echo's body, we probably would leave sooner than if we were leaving it to the last moment. Otherwise, I think we would leave it to the last possible moment.
Just so you know, I was literally about to just end the score.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah, okay. Sorry.
But if you want to, if you really want Echo's unconscious body on there instead of Echo comes back during the downtime, go for it and make a roll. I'm not sure why we're sticking on this point, but if you want to, then go for it.
Sure, I'm rolling it right now. Fine. I rolled a 6. Anyway, I don't care. So it's just
sure. You drag Echo's unconscious body on board, and then the score ends.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
I think it matters because we've been mean to Echo, and we don't want to leave Echo behind again.
Sure. So I think we'll end that there. That's quite nice timing for the end of that score. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thank you to my players. Thank you to Steve for being our stream manager. We've got our usual... if you've got any comments or questions, please leave them in the chat. We've got our usual promo. If you check the links down below, we've got links to YouTube and Twitch and social media and Discord and... Patreon and all that good stuff. We run 3 weekly shows, Call of Cthulhu on Mondays, Blades in the Dark on Tuesdays, and Coriolis currently on Wednesdays. They all start at 8 o'clock BST in the evening. We run monthly one-shots on the first Saturday of every month, and every other Sunday we run a Simbroom series over on the Free League Publishing channel. Yes. Cool. Is there anyone... Oh, thank you for your resubscription, John. And I don't think there's anything in chat. So unless anyone wants to jump in right at the last minute. No. Cool. We'll see you next week for more Blades in the Dark, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Farewell.